lads! Welcome back to Skychrew Cooks! So today we're going to be cooking French dish called Tartiflette. So this dish requires only 3 ingredients that you'll be surprised for. Only 3, not much. One of them, which is potatoes. Particularly 8 middle-sized potatoes for a 2-layered tartiflette. Another ingredient would be Camembert. Obviously, I know the tradition of France is having the cheese, original cheese called Reblochon. Reblochon is the cheese, here I'll put it on the video, is the cheese that you need for this dish. But mainly it's difficult to get where I live in Poland here. This cheese, obviously it's a bit expensive, and second of all, it's difficult to get, so I decided to go with Camembert. The reason I choose Camembert, I tried before with Camembert and it turned out very, very delicious. You'll be surprised how good it is. I know some people from France maybe will be triggered and maybe annoyed. Why am I choosing Camembert over Reblochon? Hear me out. You never tried, you never know once you try. So try with Camembert and you will see why. So the reason I choose 2 Camemberts and for 8 potatoes is because mainly I'm gonna do 2 layers. What does layer stands for? You will see later in the video. Layer stands for full ingredient 1 layer, full ingredient 2 layers. It will be 2 layers. The third and last ingredient would be bochik, or in France they say lardon, but it's bacon. Bacon. It's a chopped bacon already prepared for just use like this. It's better if you buy it chopped already like this. That way you don't have to technically spend time by cutting. Obviously I tried one time with already full bacon. You can cut yourself, but you have to cut very long time, and it's obviously cutting bacon will be difficult. The reason I choose 8 potatoes, middle-sized potatoes, you can see, not small, pretty decent size, not small, a little bit of big, but choose between middle and big like this. As you can see, 3 ingredients done. The next step is to obviously just wash the potatoes. And here we go. Now, the thing I want to mention is that you're gonna have to boil all 8 potatoes at the same time. So you have to get something big like this, or if you're a lone person or like one person, you can just have 4 potatoes. It's enough for one person to have 4 potatoes in general and just 1 layer. Okay, now you're gonna try to avoid putting too much water, too high and too low. Otherwise, the potato might fill and the water will be spilling out. Okay, there you go. Now you can see I put down the gas. It's already, I just put it now. It's still cold. While it's being prepared, you can put already potatoes here. The first thing is, you do not peel the potatoes. You let them like this with the skin on. If it's too dirty, yes, you have to wash it, obviously, if it's too dirty, but you do not peel at the beginning. So you have to keep potatoes as it is. You just bought them, you wash it, and you put it inside immediately. Okay, so I just washed the potatoes and put them in the water, so there you can see perfect ratio of water to potatoes. Not entirely full, not entirely much. Now there might be a question arising. How long do you boil the potatoes? Well, easy answer. You have a fork, right? Or any chopstick or something, or a toothpick even. When the fork is gonna come through the potato, it should not become very easily. It should be in the middle. So the potatoes shouldn't be prepared fully because you're gonna bake them later in the oven. That's the later steps. But again, do not boil potatoes for too long, and don't forget to turn them off or to put them in the sink after, because it's gonna be hot and you'll be cleaning it. So try to make sure the potatoes are not staying in the water for too long, just so the fork would come through. Yes, I just put it because it's hard. Just boil them until the fork barely comes through, but not in the middle, should be still kind of hard. So if you understood, it is like that. Maybe approximately 15 to 20 minutes. Just make sure that it's not overcooked. It should be not fully prepared, but almost ready. Now you might be wondering, still back to the question of the cheese for this dish. It could be any Camembert, it could be any flavor of Camembert. It's up to you, of course. I like to buy Camembert natural without any greens inside of it or anything, just normal Camembert. Why? Well, I know this dish requires Reblochon. This is the original cheese, which melts very good. I tried many cheeses, trust me. I tried around 8 or 7 different cheese for this dish, and I can only see that there is one cheese that melts perfectly, tastes good, and perfectly fits this dish as a substitute for Reblochon, which would be Camembert. So again, how much do you need? Approximately 120 grams, but not 100. 100 will be a little bit low, so try to aim around 120 grams of, or 125. 150 will be still fine to use for one, but since I'm going to be cooking 2 layers, I decided to buy 2 big Camemberts. So it's altogether it's 240. Preferably would be 250 grams of Camembert, but I noticed that 120 is enough if you're gonna go with 1 layer. So for 1 layer, what do you need? You need 4 potatoes, what I just showed you, 1 Camembert, and 1 pack of lardons, which is like, it's bacon. It's literally just chopped bacon. How much bacon, you might ask? 150 grams of bacon. There we go, you can see it's already chopped. So since you want to cook for 2 layers, you have to have 2 bacons, 150 grams and 120 grams of Camembert. But if it's too difficult for you, just try to aim for 120 to 150 for both of them. It could be 150 grams of bacon and 120 grams of cheese. Again, if you live in France, I don't need to explain you buy Reblochon in your nearest shop. But if you're like me, who lives not in France or it's somewhere, if you have access to buy or a cheese shop, ask them the cheese called Reblochon if they know. If they don't, they just ask, give me please Camembert 120 grams. As a start, you can try with 1, but if you want a lot, or for 2 people and higher, for 3 people, by the way, it will still be not bad for 2 layers. I'm pretty sure it will be not too bad. You will be kind of full, not as much, but it will be still normal and enough for you. Okay, so it's been roughly around 30 minutes, maybe 20. You can see 4 comes through easy. This easy. It shouldn't be super easy, but apparently it should be just enough fine to go with like this and not more. Now I'm gonna turn off this. Obviously I don't need it. And I'm gonna put all the potatoes in there. I'm gonna put cold water in it, so it will be a little bit more colder than it is right now. Put my potatoes out, cold water in it, and I'll let it stay for that maybe around 5 minutes, but I'm gonna be preparing now. I'm gonna be preparing now something that's gonna hold the entire layer. So something deep could be like this, that you can put inside stuff, layers, and top on top on top, and put it inside the oven. Also, if you have a glass thing like this, something like this, big glass, it will also do the trick. You just have to have something that can bake inside. Even this tray will do. Something that can hold inside the potatoes, the bacons, and the cheese. You can just put it like this. It can be like in an IKEA stuff, big metal bowl that can be cooked inside the oven, that can handle the heat. So that's what we're gonna do. Now we have the potatoes. One of the reasons I told you not to peel off, it has to be with the skin. Now we're gonna wait until it's cooled down a little bit. I suggest maybe having running water all this time. Let it run, or just do it manually by watering everything, like every piece of potato with cold water, and put it somewhere aside so it will cool down longer, because you would need a piece of like a packet where you can open it and peel the skin off. That's when you have to peel off the skin off, when it's going to be cold. Then I'll show you what to do next. In the meantime, you have this, or you have anything similar to this, what you do, you have a butter, or if you have oil, anything in your house, you can always just put a little bit inside, not much, just this much is technically enough, because you're gonna need a napkin, or anything that can help you to spread the butter all across everywhere here, and maybe somewhere around this layer, so it has to be all covered with butter, or an oil. Oil would be better because it will be easier, but butter will also do everywhere. And you just spread the butter all around, so it will be spread all around evenly and carefully everywhere. So the potatoes and everything else, bacon, cheese, will not stick to it. So the next thing you want to do is to have potatoes cold. Wait a little bit, they're kind of cold but still kind of warm, is to clean them with the peeler of potato if you have. Then after you're done, it's better to do it one by one. If you're alone, it's better to do it one by one. You peel off one and you start cutting when they're already prepared. You're gonna put it inside here. Okay. So once you're done with this, put it here and I'll show you what to do next. Now what you do is you cut every potato very thin, not too big, not too small. Around like this, something like this. And then once you have them, put them very carefully like this, so to be all covered around. I will show you the time lapse of it very quickly. You do the same with every 8 potato you have, but you have to start with 4 because again, look, you take one, you cut it out, and you put it here like this, and you keep going with cutting it and putting it back here. You do try with four potatoes at the beginning, fill them all entirely, 4 potatoes, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, as you saw the time lapse, we put the entire 4 potatoes. This is 4, not all of it. If you're alone, this should be enough for you. But 4 potatoes, you stack them all together, you cut them thin, and then you have bacon. You open the bacon. Again, I told you, it's already sliced, it's already prepared and ready. What you do next is obviously easy step. You just take some of it like this, and you split it all around so it will be cover everything around it. As you can see, the lardons are covered everything in here with the potatoes perfectly, which is bacon, of course. In French you say lardons, but again, bacon, potato on top, then bacon. Now you immediately have to process to the Camembert, or if you have Reblochon, of course, you can use Reblochon. You start to gently cut it. I'll show you how to do it. The next step would be the Camembert. You have to open it, obviously. Again, I'm using the entire cheese. You don't have to just economize. Yes, use the entire of it. You don't just put it like this. You have to cut it in pieces. So you start by cutting exactly half of it. And you see a big stack of cheese perfectly together. Now, what do I mean by one layer? What you just saw is one layer. You can do the same with Reblochon. This is one layer of tartiflette. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and individual cheese spread out everywhere. Make sure there is this equal distance between each and every one of them, and here as well. But we're gonna be doing the second layer as well. Again, one thing I forgot to mention, you do not cook the bacon. The bacon will be cooked inside the oven for 35 minutes while it's preparing. So again, you take the potatoes and you just gently, and this time very carefully, put it on top, everything like this. Now during the process, obviously you have to already have oven preheated and ready. So when you're doing your process, of course, you have to make sure that you have your stone preheated into 200 degrees. So let it stay there, close it down, and you wait for some time, but it has to reach 200 degrees. If you have a degrees Celsius, by the way, not Fahrenheit. Remember, this is 200 degrees Celsius. So you cook it for 200 degrees. It can stay at 250. But between those two, between 200 and 150, it has to be cooked there properly for 35 minutes. I'm not done yet, let's go back. And then again, once you've finished putting your potatoes, again, open the bacon, put it on top as such. And as you can see, lardons are there. Again, time for Camembert, and we're gonna put it on top. And as you can see, the bacon is put on top of the potatoes, and we put the cheese of Camembert on top. Cut it perfectly distributed and equally measured distance. Now this is the second layer. Don't go too crazy, 3 layers would be too much. You can still do 3 layers if you have deep enough thing that can hold this entire thing. This is my limit, this is what I'm gonna do. 2 layers done. Now I'm gonna put it in the oven for 35 minutes on 200, between 200 and 250 degrees for 35 minutes. Again, we didn't cook the bacon, we did not add onions. All you need is 3 ingredients, which is potatoes, bacon, and Reblochon, or as a substitute use Camembert cheese, 120 grams. If you want 2 layers, use 240, but preferably 250 grams. And now what you want to do is, if you want to open it, you have to put it around bottom or in the middle, but the middle will take more longer. If you have a space like this, put it in the bottom. And now time to put this big thing, as you can see, on 2 hands. Time to put it in the oven, as such. And we say in France, bon voyage, that's what you say, which means a good trip. Close it so, and you put it for 35 minutes. So roughly it's been around 40 minutes plus extra 5. I checked until lardons are cooked bacon. As I said before, you do not take it out until the bacons are cooked. It could be more time, it could be less time. Check yourself. I can see from this picture, as you can see perfectly. It is cooked, you can see it's dark brown, and it is crispy. Let's now gently take it out and put it on the tray. Now the rule is, you have to have some kind of a spatula that you can take off from the... So this is the kind of spatula you need to just like cut it in the middle and half. It depends on how you want. This is, from this point, you do whatever you want. It's prepared how it should be. It's all yours, you can eat it already. The rule is usually cut in half, and you have to have some kind of this spatula that can dig in inside and you can take it out. Obviously it's better without the holes, but I have this, it's still good. The moment of truth. How does it taste like, lads? Most of you obviously know, when I finish a dish, I always try it out. Again, this is called tartiflette. This is a good dish for 1 or 2 person. Let's try it out, no much time wasted. Again, we have here everything that we needed. We have here camembert, we have here bacon and potato. Let's try it out. Dude, you should really try it at home. Again, if you tried it before, I suggest cook this. It's not complicated. The video length might be confusing for you. You might be like, what's happening? Why? Hey. Again, I'm gonna eat this with my wife, and it's gonna be delicious. Again, this is good for 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, for 2 layers. If you're alone, if you want something new in your life, to try something new, try this dish, tartiflette. You need 3 ingredients. I know there's a lot of variations when they put onions and they cook the bacon in the pan, which was obviously a mistake. Obviously, you know already that the bacon will be cooked inside the oven, which is clearly prepared already. Try yourself, leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification on. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. Did you try this before? Have you heard it from somewhere? Did your parents cook this? Will they try to cook this? I am very curious. I want to read your comments, and I'll read in every single one of the comments under this video. Let me know if you tried it, and yeah, this was it. Hope you liked the new recipe called tartiflette. Very good one, very delicious. Tartiflette is the best. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you lads tomorrow with another video, but stay tuned for another Skychrew Cooks. Let's hit 100 likes under this video and there'll be another Skychrew Cooks. I already have an idea, stay tuned for that. Be cool, that's the awesome. Thanks for watching.